All right, welcome everybody. How you guys doing? Welcome to another exciting show. We actually, listen, I don't mind days like this when we at least get some movement, right? I mean, we get some movement at all. I will take it. Yesterday, I don't know if everybody saw my tweet yesterday that I had put up, but I said, listen, if you can't run today, Bulls, I mean, it is over, right? I mean, let's go find my tweet yesterday. Where's their podcast? There it is. There it is. RSI had a double bottom. The weighted movement average had tapped on support. The daily had posted up a morning star. I mean, I was like, Jesus, my knees is like everything was bullish. I'm off. The Bulls can't take off here, and at least a little, give us a run at all. I said it is just absolutely over. So it was pretty. I'm not going to say it was easy. You got this little wick down. This is a little challenging, this wick down, this breakthrough, which I don't like that happened yesterday. But I did expect a bounce. I was definitely expecting some kind of a bounce. Now, we got a pretty good bounce, and we're just going to have to see what happens next. I do want to say that I would please send me, this is my BitConnect Halloween party right here. I thought this was hilarious. I thought this was a lot of fun. I had a couple other ones that I went out and found. It was pretty hilarious. So we had I was out searching for some funny Halloween memes, right? But for this show, guys, I'm gonna let Chone. I saw your tweet earlier, and I really loved it, man. The whole monthly thing. So I'm gonna let Chone start this baby off and get this show rocking. All right.
Yeah, this was a very important monthly close that we were watching very closely because it could potentially set the standard for how we actually close out the year. And what we have here is a situation where, for the first time since 2015, we have closed below the middle Bollinger on the monthly chart. That middle Bollinger allowed us to rise all the way up during our bullish run, basically acting as support all the way up. When we were able to break above it in 2015, October of 2015, October 2015 was our last month. We were actually below it. By November of 2015, we'd actually poked above it after being under it for over a year. So since then,
really quick question: Does that work on all the exchanges too? Is that 200 MA almost also the same on Phoenix?
So yes, and yes, even more so now, just because we came back a little tighter in our tether. But let's oh, it's not going to be on Binance. There's not enough history. Let me go to.
Yeah, I'm looking at that. I was surprised it was even that there. There's that much history right there on Coinbase. Jesus.
There we go. There's Phoenix. Yeah, well, on Coinbase, yeah, and below. On Phoenix, 66.42, 66. Yep, so Coinbase below and below.
Yep.
On Bitfinex as well. So whether you're on the USD or the USDT, both are accurate. And the reason why I have a side-by-side comparison right now with the Litecoin chart is I've always felt the Litecoin chart, and you've talked about this as well on a lot of your content, is about how is Litecoin kind of showing us the way when we're basically seeing Litecoin, leading in bearishness, obviously, through the year. Basically found the middle Bollinger as support, had a nice bounce, retested it the next month, had a nice bounce, and then by the third month was unable to find support above, and actually has now been using the middle Bollinger as a resistance line. And sure enough, for Bitcoin, the first month, we basically touched that middle BB, found a nice bounce. September, touched it, found a smaller bounce, and now we've closed below it for the first time in 2 years. And that's meaningful. Areas of strong support soon enough become areas of resistance when tested and when they fail. What's also really important is to see where we closed. And we have put in a new lower low in our monthly closing candle. Basically, where do we close? We close exactly 6304. on the monthly close, 63.04, and that is lower than we closed in June, which was a bearish month where we actually put in an intra-month low of low as 57.50, but we were able to close almost $600 higher than the intra-month low we had put. This month we put in a new lower closing low, and that's notable. I mean, you're looking for signs in the chart, signs in the patterns that can basically tell you that the bulls are in some way making progress. And how can you say that when we've put in a new lower low on a monthly close below the lower Bollinger, still finding that resistance on the EMA 12, and kind of lining up to test lower support lines that could potentially put a whole new area of price history back in play, an area that for a lot of people haven't had a chance to really experience yet, that kind of sub 5,500 range. But for now, let's kind of go into how we close the month out and kind of what today's pattern is like. But before I do that, I want to stick to just the monthly and see also where our indicators are ending up here. I had done, I guess it doesn't translate. I did a great chart earlier, and now it doesn't translate. Let me pull this up. We're watching the RSI. Holding the 51 area of the monthly RSI level, and that has basically been flirting with this area where we could definitely test. And that's why I had it on the longer, I had it on the Phoenix. I mean, on the Bitstamp chart. There we go. There it is. So here's my hook. I put out a chart earlier today on a video, and listen, we're watching this RSI hook basically curve around. Now we're still putting in lower lows, still putting in lower highs. But this is kind of that battle right now that we're seeing, where the bulls are trying to turn somewhat of a momentum corner. Remember, if we're unable to hold this 52 area, historically speaking, we do find support. We actually found it back in November, again, 3 years ago, at this 51 level right there, before actually claiming it as resistance and continuing our bearish cycle all throughout 2015. So we know what happens if we're unable to hold this green line of support. We definitely can get back RSI-wise below 50 and back into our, mid 40 area there. Looking here at our stochastic, talking about time, how much time it's going to take to actually set a new trend and to kind of end this bearish cycle. We know that we went over 500 days in a very bearish stochastic, as the indicators kind of danced around each other here and there. But we're not really seeing that longevity yet in where we've been. We've only been down here over 200 days, which is a lot, more than half a year, but we see how long we actually can be down here. And there's nothing yet in our stochastic that is showing any change of direction. We're still spread out here. Our leading indicator continues to get rejected every time it tests our trailing indicator there. MACD, we are on a day, 123 days, 4 bars, 4 months of this, actually 5 months now. We've started a new month of this bearish cycle, okay? But, previously we had been down almost 15 bars, almost 400 days of a bearish cycle. So we're still precedent-wise very early into this bearish, and especially with very substantially lower histogram bars. Our indicators are still spread very wide with no sign yet of making any kind of turn in direction. Also, our OBV here, now we do see we are holding this area right in an area here. We had actually found resistance, then turned support. And that's important because if we are unable to hold this area, we see that window of price action that we actually can fall back into. And that can range us for quite a while in this area, still historically, putting in a higher low, but still holding this range of support that kind of could encapsulate our OBV for several months to come if this green line here is unable to hold. And lastly, our talking money flow, we were watching this just continue to fall, and we actually closed the month with that little pop in price, little $100, $120 price there. We had this little up angle here just to close out that month on the chalk in there. So finding that support right here in an area where we had historically been testing it through 2017, March through June of 2017. So we're kind of like hanging on to these areas here where we're looking for historic support as we continue to put in the higher lows and lower highs, as our apex, as our equilibrium still gets tighter. We are still in equilibrium. all these moves we've had the past week, this dump to 62, this pump to 60, three. They're all kind of interesting intraday and give us a little spice in our step, a little spice in our trades, but we're still holding on the weekly now. We're still holding this very tight equilibrium pattern as our Bollingers continue to tighten on the weekly. So we close out the month on a bearish note. We still have several days left in this week to kind of build on this potential and see what's happening here. But all signs, lower volume, lower indicators, still finding resistance on all of our EMAs, losing money in the market itself. Look at our 24-hour volume. Or recently as our volume spikes, it's a bearish sign because our volume spikes have actually been bearish moves in the price of Bitcoin. We're hovering in the low 3 billions every day. We bump up to 4 billion and we get a sell-off. Same as we had a few days ago. Market cap of Bitcoin continues to hover in the 109 area. Overall, crypto market cap still holding over 200 billion. How long can it hold? And Bitcoin dominance still around 53.9, 54 area. With that holding steady, every once in a while we're seeing specific alts pop, have a run, money flow comes in, money flow comes out. Overall, though, we're not really seeing that continuation of that price action. So the month is over. We start a new month of November, and we're basically kind of see how this week plays out. And if any real money can flow in, just one more thing about our overall U.S. equities. Had a nice 2-day rally off over very oversold conditions. So I'm not really kind of seeing we're out of the woods yet in terms of that. Again, bullish continuation in our overall stock market can definitely be helpful to crypto, can definitely bring extra money, spread out extra money into other assets like crypto. But if our U.S. equities, if the world economy is faltering and continues to kind of show a shakiness here, who knows what kind of price action, what kind of bearish price action we could potentially be in store for. And happy Halloween to all on that lovely note.
Nice. All right. Okay. So, I'm just going to buzz through a couple of my indicators really quick here and just kind of take a look at what's going on. Listen, like I said at the start of the show, our Stochh was really deep. We were super oversold on the Stochh. One of the other things too is when you go up to the higher time frames, you did come down, especially over here on Binance and Phoenix. They had actually put in a 9, a bleeding 9. We talked about this the other day, and now they did bounce. They did reset the count, so the count has been reset to a there we go. So here we go. So here's the chart. Yep, got it. So here's we are on this bleeding 9 on the USDT exchanges. We did bounce and reset this bleeding 9. Now this was a perfected 9. It did bounce. We got this bleed, and then it bounced. It did reset the count all the way back up. Now I'm looking at this candle, this daily candle right here that we just plopped up here, and I gotta tell you guys, looking at this daily candle that we just closed out, this big spinning top, right? That's just not exactly the candle you want to put up on a bounce, right? That's not the candle you want to put up right here on a bounce. I would like to put up a little more of a bullish style candle. Now this showed a real struggle between the bulls and the bears. They really fought it out today. It was really good. But, as Chone says, man, you closed out the month to a new lower low, and, pretty much an ugly, ugly tail. So we had an ugly sign that went out today. Let's see if we closed. So we closed out the 2-day. Now the 2-day closed out, and I just want to take a look at, let me buzz in this candle really quick here, because this is kind of looking, there it is. This is kind of looking like a, oops, I hate that stupid crap. All right, where'd you go? Here we go. So, we closed out this candle on the 2-day, right? So here's our 2-day chart closed out. Now our 2-day chart did close out in kind of a quasi inside bar-ish, right? Quasi inside bar. It's tough because it did break lower here. I don't like the fact that it did have this big breakout a little bit lower, this last minute quick dump. Let me give me a second. Let me pull this everything up. Got one more chart. All right, there we go. So now, This is bullish harami-ish, right? But I don't like this breakout of this candle to the bottom side. So that doesn't give me a nice squishy feeling with that breakout to the bottom side right here. See, yeah, man, I'm hoping this. I mean, that could be invalidating, right? Now, on the weekly that we're trying to put in here, listen, if we do get a pullback up here, that's a pretty substantial pullback. I am only going to look at this candle as a massive hanging man, just like this. So you see this big candle, you see this big red 2 and this green 1. Right here, I'm just going to look at this candle as no different than these two candles right here. It's a giant hanging man looking for the fallout to the bottom, all right? We really need to flip this. I mean, I don't even know what kind of green candle we can put in. Listen, the only thing I'm looking for here that would be a bullish sign to me, right? And we've talked about this yesterday, is a breakout of the upside here. Let's break out the upside. Let's break out the downside. Now, to me, I want to see a drop, next week. I want to see, let's either break out or let's drop. Let's test this trend line and then play the bounce off the trend line. This was an easy bounce to call here, peoples. This was super easy. I mean, we're so low. Look at this weekly. Look at the weekly Stoke just charging down here on the low side, just charging across. We did put in, freaking stupid trading view. We did put in a bounce off the lower end right here, and this is breaking a little bit bullish, but I still am not, look at your 3-day, yeek, ugly, right? 2-day, yeek, ugly, right? Daily, nice little bounce there. I mean, this is positive. The weekly looks okay. The 3-day, 2-day look no bueno. And then I do want to take a look at the monthly here. The monthly is still, man, it's just deep. But like I said, it hasn't hit the low end there. All right, I'm going to pull this back over to the daily here. And hold on a second. All right, I want to pull this monthly candle up here. So let's take a look at our monthly candle pattern that we did put in. Now, something significant when I do look at this monthly pattern that we put in here, right? I am, boy, 3 months in a row. Okay, so we've had 3 months of falling price, 3 months of falling volume. We did just put in the lowest monthly volume candle all year for 2018. So that is very substantial, right? I do not like trading in a low volatility environment because it is very erratic, right? This much funner trading with volume. You can make a lot more money when you're trading with volume, and we've all got a really good lesson in October of how trading in a low volume environment sucks, right? You get this big wick up and then everybody gets wrecked. You get this big wick down and everybody gets wrecked, right? It's just a lot of getting wrecked, and it's no fun at all. I'm not having fun right now. We did break lower, so we've put in a new low. There's your moving averages. Things are getting really ugly here on the monthly. We did break below that monthly average. The only thing that I can say looking at this monthly chart that just is and I know people don't want to hear this, okay? I know they don't want to hear this. But, man, we just put in a lower low, right? Oh. We just put in a lower low, okay? So this is a lower low, and I'm not, this just doesn't make me, 3 crows on the monthly. No, simply because of this massive hanging man candle, right? This hanging man candle kind of got rid of the three crows, 3 black crows. If this would have been a big candle, like these two, I would have counted as 2 black crows, looking for the 3rd black crow that just never followed through, right? But, you got a rising wedge. Now you're putting in kind of a falling wedge right here, and we're looking to put in a 4th month. Now, if you go back historically, we have put in 4 bloody months way back in the day. right? So, you know, you can go all the way back to 2014 and see that we did put in, a nice four bloody month mark way, way back in the day. Yeah, it's, man, this is definitely a new lower monthly closing low. All right, so I'm going to zoom along. Chuck and money flow, we did get a little bit of a poke back up. Chone showed that on his chart. Listen, the RSI and the MACD, right? I mean, here, this chart is. So this is what we're talking about in the members area. Here's this wedge. This is like the wedge of. This is like the 6 month wedge right here, going all the way back to June 18th, right? 13th, June 13th, right? The initial touch, the steady, the solid support, the next support, and now we've had another support line, right? And look at how we're double tapping these supports, top and bottom, right? We just keep, we double tapped this one twice, double tapped this one first, came down, nothing, got a bullish rally, tapped once, tapped twice here, came down, tapped off, we all know what happened here. Then we got another two taps. This actually had three taps here to this trend line before it pulled bearish. Then we got two taps right here. These trend lines are just absolutely insane right here, right? These trend lines are absolutely just, all you had to do is just play these trend lines over the since June, and you just would have made money just playing these trend lines in here. This has really helped me in my trading. This has helped me trade with almost no emotion, because I know that these things have just held. These trend lines have just held. So we get up here, everybody's like, "Oh my God, it's going to the moon," and I'm just like, "Nah, I'm just gonna pull a short and wait." All right, and I'll just pull a short trade and just sit here and wait. And I just wait, and I comfortably wait for it to drop. Now, we haven't broken one way or the other out of this. And you know what? This is pretty good. This is a pretty good explanation of what we've all been doing for the last, really since here, right? Now, and let's take a really critical look at this, right? This is where this price action really started, right? Let's all be true to ourselves. This is where the price action started. It started right there. Okay, this was the tap off of that bottom line right there. Let's call it 61.50. All right, let's pull it baby down. I don't want to cheat anybody. Okay, so we really have started trading 6 freaking months ago at 61.19. Okay, 6 months ago almost. 4 months, right? June to July, July to August, September, October, something like that, right? So listen, look at this. We have gained a whopping, a stellar, and astounding. we have put in a whole. I don't even know how to. Yay! 239 points. Let's give it up for Bitcoin. Yes, super bullish. God, I'm so proud, right? Yeah, okay. Guys, honestly, we've been just trading in a range now for ungodly amount of time, right? An ungodly amount of time. And I'll just, let's just pull this here, right? We've literally been trading for 140 days. 140 days, almost half a year. Right, 140 days we've been going sideways with a total net increase of 239 points. Right, this is substantial. This really means something. This to me says a lot. Right, it says that we have been trapped in a range. Right, we're trapped. We're not bullish or bearish. And my thing is, man, there's a really good news article that was put up today about spoofing and the SEC and the U.S. government going after people who spoof, right? And who are doing manipulative trading. I don't know if anybody caught that article today on spoofing and manipulative trading, but I want you all to take that very seriously, okay? And one of the things I said that's very significant that you can look forward to happening here in 2019 is there's three things we can look forward to, right? Number one is crypto exchanges going to fiat pairs, right? The successful crypto exchanges are going to go to fiat pairs. That's one thing. Okay, that's one thing I can see that's going to be that's on the horizon for the successful exchanges, right? They'll actually be regulated. They'll be safe to trade on. That's something we really have to look forward to in 2019. The second thing that we have to look forward to is someone who is high up in an exchange getting arrested and extradited back to America for trading manipulation. And I'm telling you all, it's gonna happen, right? It's not if, it's when, right? And I'm telling you, one of these big exchanges is gonna get, someone is gonna get scooped up by a bunch of guys in black black tactical uniforms. His ass is going to get thrown on a helicopter. He's going to get flown to some island somewhere, and then he's going to get shipped right back to America, and it'll be massive, massive news. And there'll be a huge Mt. Gox event, right? Because that exchange is just going to go straight down the toilet. When the America, I'm telling you guys, it's coming. We know these exchanges are just cheating people. We know they're trading against us, right? We know it, right? We know that we know that these people, and I don't think it's CZ. I don't think CZ is the guy to blame here. I'm looking more at the leveraged exchanges. The ones that I don't like are the leveraged exchanges. You know, yeah, CZ can get away with it, but he can't make the money that they're making over on Phoenix and on MEX and on these other really shady exchanges, right? And that's what I'm looking for. I'm telling you, it's 2019. When it happens, you guys are going to be like that fucking vamp, fucking vamp. And I'm telling you, that's what's going to happen. Let me pull this article up here. I just want to Google this article. Okay. Crypto spoof trading convictions. Right? Where was that? It was just today. It was the Wall Street Journal that released it. This is why I took it. Oh, Jesus Lord. All right, and where's it? I was just released today. Did anybody see that? Hold on, spoofing. There we go. So listen, this is a very legitimate. It's not like this is coming from CNN, the Coin News Network, or something like that. Like, this is legitimately coming from the Wall Street Journal, right? Okay? This is legitimately coming from the Wall Street Journal right here. And this is, listen, federal prosecutors are ramped up the pursuit of traders who use bluffing tactics known as spoofing to manipulate markets, right? Now, here's the thing. These are people who are using it in the futures. So these are people who are using it in the futures markets, right? All right, and they're going after the CME, right? The CME group is really the one that's kind of got their hand in hot water right now with the Community Futures Trading Commission, right? This is who's got their hand in hot water right now, and they are finally charging people, right? They're finally charging people. I don't know if you guys have heard about this or seen this, but this is, here's the funny thing. How many times have you guys known that the futures contracts are ending right? That the futures contracts are ending, and it's like, no, don't worry, guys. As soon as the futures hit their perfect number, the market's gonna drop out. It's like every damn freaking time, right? Every damn time. Every single time the futures mark, the contracts are due. Chone, you there? Where you at, Chone? Where's Chone?
Yeah, I hear you. I hear you. It's
Do,
something that, yeah.
like you can speak more on these futures contracts than I can. Go ahead, tell me what happens every time the futures contracts are about to expire.
Well, historically, this year we've seen a lot of volatility. This last one, nothing happened.
Yeah, nothing. Well, and maybe a little bit of this is maybe when you get a
It
little
is, yeah.
little letter in the mail. You know what I'm saying? Hey, is there any way you can share some extra data with us? But I mean,
I think then, yeah, and also I think then there was more money. I think it was a lot more immediate to manipulate this stuff.
yeah, and listen, I feel that it's too crazy how every single time the futures have closed like exactly where they're supposed to close. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm. Hmm.
Yeah. So, well, listen, I know it says possible manipulation, but this also says that they are convicting people for the first time. And the funny part, yeah, it says possible. I think possible is hilarious. It should say proven, all right? Proven manipulation. And this is just something I want you guys just to all be aware of right now. And I mean, this just trading in this sideways action here for me over this period of time is just, it's not natural. It's just not natural. And I am really not the one to speak on this. You really need to get somebody who's a lot more, versed in the futures markets. But I mean, I clearly have seen the manipulation that's occurred, and I can go back and say, oh, there's the 700 million tether that was put in, right? Oh, there's, whatever. There's whatever. Oh, there's when Tether crashed. I mean, I can literally go through this and tell you exactly what's happened, right? And, and now here we are today, right? Now, this is I'm only going to bring up one or two more charts because I know it's a busy holiday for a lot of people. So this is my other chart I want to just bring up real quick and show everybody kind of where we're at. Let me come on down here. Get your patootie down here. There we go. So, listen, here is a big wedge. I kind of see us in this big wedge, also this big triangle here. And listen, when I look at this, and now I still am taking this wick into account, creating this large wedge here, right? And now we are coming down, and every single time we come down and we get together in this zone, every time all of these moving indicators come together, right? The bearish is the blue, the bullish is the orange, the histogram is the pink and green one. Every time these come together in this zone of confluence, which is exactly the balance, the equilibrium, the zero, where they kind of all pull together in this neutrality space, right? See, like right here, you see where they all came together right here, right? This little area, they all crossed over in this one area, and then just boom, fireworks, right? And then you kind of have to hunt along to find the next time all three of them came together. And, right there, here we go. We had one right here. So they all came together right there. And then boom, bullish, right? Big bullish one, another big bullish one. And then now we have it. Now we're all coming together right here, but we're a little bit on the higher side. And I want to bring this back, and I kind of hunted this down for you. And all you got to do is these are just some easy dates. This is all in the members area. Right, and I hunted down these three dates right here, right? Now, the last time we came together with this big wick, topside blue wick like this, and we had this big confluence area where these all came down. The exact date is December 14th, 2014. Okay, so December 14th, 2014, we had an extremely bearish reaction right inside of this area right here. Extremely bearish reaction. The next time we did the very similar thing was right over here, March 1st, 2016. We followed that up with May 5th, 2016, right? 2016. And you see, you had a extremely bearish reaction followed by a little bearish reaction and then bullish continuation. And then this one was literally a baby bull, just little baby bear, and then boom, just exploded out of here. But you get the same pattern of consolidation where all of these came together and then they just exploded apart again. And this is what they do. They come together and explode apart over and over and over again. Now, looking at these, trying to compare these two, now you had a lot of sideways movement right here, right? This same thing. Remember, this is a daily chart. So this is a lot of sideways movement that you had in here, pretty much from here to here. You know, this kind of thing just kind of bladdered sideways, right? Like we've been doing a whole bunch of, you know, blah, right? And I'm sure people who were trading it back then probably had a lot more fun than we're having right now, right? But you had a good 85 days, a little sideways action inside of this channel back and forth, right? Now you look over here and you get a much more a consolidated pattern, right? I mean, look at this. All this sideways trading, very similar to what we're putting in today, right? We're putting in a very similar sideways market pattern that played out right here also back in 2014. So I just want people to be aware of what happens when this does come together into this consolidation pattern, and there will be an explosion, right? When the blue indicator crosses the orange indicator, they come together and touch if they are headed in that bullish and or bearish direction, right? And the bullet right now, this is going orange going up is bullish, blue going down is bearish, and it's the inverse, right? When orange goes down, when orange goes up, it's bullish, and when blue goes up, it's bullish. When orange goes down, it's bullish. Got it? So right now they're trying to cross each other, and the second these puppies cross, the second they touch and cross, you do get you get an actual movement, right? I'm not talking like, you went to a Mexican restaurant movement. I'm talking like, you went out to street cart food in some third world country, that kind of movement, right? Something's going down. You're going to be trapped in the bathroom for a while, right? On our WMA, which is our weighted moving average, right? True strength indicator, we have come back down again. Now, we were down here yesterday and we touched this. And just for reference, we're going to go back and we're going to show, if you look at my charts, if you watched the show yesterday, this was not here. I'm sorry, yesterday it was here. This morning when I woke up, it pulled back. Today it went back again. So I was like, if you look in my members area, this is the only bearish thing that I see right now. This is the only bearish thing I see. I was looking at this and I'm like, this is where's the vamp stuff. So this is the only bearish thing I see. We're going over that stuff. We're going over the ADX, right? So, okay, so I'm going to pull this back. Let me just pop there. Okay, so this was the chart. So I know it's hard to see this. And let's open this up. Yep. Okay, so look at how it was touching yesterday. So you see how this was touching yesterday? Right, very interesting. All right, hold on. Let me pull this damn thing back up. All right, then this morning, right, when I woke it up, look, it pulled off. So it backed up off of this support line. So it pulled up back off that support line, right? That's super critical to that trend line. And there's a little better zoomed in version. See, take a look at that. So it had backed up off it. So we're touching it. We came up off it. And now we are back up on it again for another quick touch that we came down and we're touching it one more time. And I'll bring this up. See, oh, we're close. We're getting a little closer. So we're almost back down to this. Now, touching this, breaking this This is a heavy support line, no different than I have on my RSI chart right here, right? The RSI chart, this is support, says support, right? Has proven support, back tested. This has proven support now. This line, we pull this thing all the way back. Look, bounce off there, right? There's the bounce off the indicator there, right? This thing's got some nice support lines on it in the range. Look, this worked as resistance right there. This is legitimate. This is a legitimate support area and resistance area. So if this does break, this is kind of the one. I mean, your daily is bearish. Your daily is still quasi neutralish bearish on your ADX. Your 12-hour though is a little more on the bullish side, right? Your 12-hour is definitely a little more on the bullish side. You bounced up out of it on the 12-hour. You still haven't come down to make that bottom yet though on the 12-hour, but the 12-hour does look like it's trying to get pretty close there. Okay, so we got that out of the way, got this out of the way, and historical volatility chart. This tells me that not a goddamn thing has changed. Not a damn thing has changed, all right? The second that this thing takes off, and this is like, all right, I mean, you look at my purple lines. Come up here, you got to get up here. You at least got to get up into this area right here, right? Get up here and break this. Breaking this on your historical volatility tells me that the trend has changed, okay? This is it. You break this 65 on the historical volatility, and the trend has changed. Nothing's happened. We've just gone back sideways again. It means a whole lot of bueno. The weekly and monthly, nothing. Longs to shorts coming back down into, they're coming back down. They're trying to kiss. The longs RSI is growing. Right, the longs are growing again. The shorts are diving again. When this short RSI gets down to the bottom area, you got to keep an eye out. Let me see if I can line this baby back up here. And there we go. It's close I can get it. So when this RSI for the shorts gets all the way back down and touches down here, look at what's happened last time, right? Here was the shorts at the bottom, and then like a missile fell out of the sky, right? Here was the shorts at the bottom right here, and then we did fall out. Like right before it, we fell out, right? And then, and then you did fall out again. So the shorts, you got to watch this RSI on your shorts because they are getting deep. They're getting really, really deep. And look, when you get down here and you ride this bottom channel on the shorts right here, you start to get bearish, right? People are getting a lot of hopeism. And here's the thing. Here's the one thing that's confusing me right now. Maybe Chone knows. Are people just leaving the fucking market?
I think that's basically what we've been seeing. I think after April's big pop and then giving it all back rather quickly, that kind of pushed a certain amount of people out of the market. And there was a point, I think, through this entire summer where I think people were just kind of done. They had either made some money and not taken out as much as they could have, or they lost a lot of money. And they got really soured by this market. Dreams of Lambos that never came true. And I think what we're seeing now as we get towards the end of this year, remember a year ago, like we're getting closer to Thanksgiving, and I remember last year, I can't believe it was only a year ago, so clearly, buying Litecoin, buying some alts. Honestly, the first few times I heard about all these coins originally, that was a year ago, almost a year ago. And to think of the year we have just been through in crypto, and to have a lower price, a lower price of Litecoin, more or less the same price of Bitcoin. I think we're still up a little bit from year over year. But just to think where we had gone and how many people that were with us in the wintertime in February, March, April, May are no longer in the space. We see that in the Twitter interactions. We see that in a lot of the YouTube interactions. People I used to watch all the time, just gone. And they have crazy followings on YouTube, and they're just silent. because they've just left the space.
Crazy.
And that's notable with our money flow. It's notable with our coin market cap data. And everything continues to tell us that we're about to repeat some sort of a 2014, 2015 bear market of Bitcoin. Nothing has changed from the pattern to the money flow to the way the longer term MAs are acting as they roll over. And we still haven't even turned the corner on a lot of our longer term EMAs. We still have a few weeks or months to kind of remember, a lot of those are still reflecting that Bitcoin 20K price range. And right now on the 3-day, we broke through support of our MA 200. And we see over here in 2014, when we did that originally after we had our 2013, 2014 bull run, we kind of fought it for a while. It was like a death throw. You know, we broke it. We slingshot back. We were above it momentarily. We fall back below. Again, we swing shot back even higher. We have a longer selling wick. And after that second attempt, we were back in that bearishness for quite some time. And that's notable. That's notable, and that's notable because, you know, those who dismay the 2014 fractals or any fractal or just the history of what we've seen when we've gone through this before. Bitcoin goes truly parabolic, and there's a wind down consolidation where the market determines where the true price, the true valuation of Bitcoin and crypto is. But as we keep doing that, we keep getting tighter and tighter in our indicators, and as Vamp just showed on his indicators, getting closer to a much bigger move, a much bigger, more volatile move that will bring eyeballs into Bitcoin. You know, I think people are just kind of saying, you know what, screw it. I'm not going to get stuck again holding another bag. I'm going to wait. And only at a certain point will people think, oh, this is actually a good price. This is a good value. This is a good RR opportunity to actually hold some sort of a long. And then and only then can you actually have that turnaround in the market and the price action. And if this was the bottom, if this right now is the bottom in Bitcoin's, you know, parabolic move of 2017, 2018, we're off to the races once again. It would by far be the quickest, most bullish correction of a move such as this. Remember, Bitcoin is the biggest move of all time. It's bigger than the tulips, bigger than Mississippi, bigger than the housing boom, bigger than NASDAQ 99 2000. And those took years to correct, if not never really fully came back to whatever. So we're just seeing this, you know, we're 10 months into this. That is a while, but not necessarily in Bitcoin.
Yeah, no, I agree. You know, and here's how I'm looking at the market. Listen, we had a couple good comments right now. Tone said, hey, 1K with 1% a day is 35K after a year. And I said, yeah, well, you know, I agree with that. I'm not disagreeing with that. But also in crypto, there's a lot more. I feel that if you had 1K, unfortunately, and I know I'm going to get just bashed for this. Okay, if you had 1K and for the last, where's the sideways chart? Here it is. For the last 281 days, if you would have traded Forex, you would have come out ahead probably 10x versus trading crypto. Right? I feel Forex right now is a lot more volatile and people are making a lot of money in Forex. What we need to see right here is we need to see what I enjoy about crypto is the volatility, right? I enjoy the volatility of, you know, I mean, here's this big long sideways move. What I love about crypto is the volatility, the big swings where we make the big bucks, right? And I want to go back to that, but you know, I know people are scared to let the market fall, but I think that's irrelevant. Even if the market falls to 3,000, who the fuck cares, right? It's the people who are strong who are going to stay in the market, who are going to scoop up those bags and are going to ride out the next bull wave. I think just riding in this manipulated sideways traction way, you know, is actually hurting crypto right now, if anything. If anything, the thing that's happening is we're going sideways right here. We're waiting for that that catalytic event for that cataclysmic dump, right? And listen, I swear to God, the next person that says that thinks backed is the way to the future, all right, backed is that's all it is. It's a future, guys. We already have
Yeah.
futures. That's all it is. No, I think 100x crypto is coming. I think 100x crypto is for sure coming. I just think we need to let's just sometimes you just gotta you don't want to throw the baby out with the bathwater, but at least you gotta let the kid fall down a few times. And my only comparison to this is I remember growing up back in the day, right, when I used to go play on that playground with the rusty swings, the swing set, right, and the big tire, right, from the tractor tire, and like like hardcore playground, like one of like rocks on the ground and concrete, right? Now you go to the playgrounds in 2019, and it's like, who the hell plays in these playgrounds? Freaking unicorns? Who are these things built for? Fairies? Right? I mean, everything is like tested and soft, and there's no, it's cushioned, and like sometimes your kids just need to take a fall and skin the knee in order to learn. Don't fall and skin your damn knee, right? Right? And I think that's what happens right now. It's like it's being babied along by the exchanges, by Tether, by the whales. And that's not what's going to help us grow. To help us grow into a more mature market, we need that volatility, because I'll tell you what, it's going slow like this, and this nobody's making money except for the whales, right, is bad for the market. At least I don't care if people were getting freaking wrecked. I don't care. Listen, if you got wrecked on these big falls, you got wrecked because you were following the wrong person. Well, on these big falls, dude, we were making a ton of money because we were all shorting the living bejesus out of it. It was easy. It was a no-brainer. At least if you have those lottery style stories going on, right? Like that, all you need, like 1.6 billion was just won by that person down in South Carolina. God bless them. But you just need those home run stories. And we can't get those home run stories right now unless the market moves. And if there's no home run stories, there's nothing to tell. There's nothing to get excited about. And people are leaving the markets, right? I mean, going up or going down, we all love crypto because we make those big gains based on the volatility, right? So that's my thing is I want to go back to the volatility. Let it fall, because at least people can be, I made 10,000 a day on the market dumping. And then all these other people are like, oh my God, he made 10 grand today. And I got to get into crypto. Dude, my buddy made 10 grand, and he tells someone, and he tells someone, and he tells someone. And then oh my God, and then now people are FOMOing back into the market. Right now, this sideways trading is actually bad for the marketplace. Right? It's bad because nobody's telling that story, right? And and I know where the 1% thing came from. I see Eric Cho's tweet, 1% a day, and you're gonna be amazing one day. No, that's not how it works. Listen, that 1% a day, dude, you get wrecked more than 1% a day trying to play that shit, right? You get wrecked way more than 1% a day trying to play like Eric Cho's playing. All right, Eric Cho's got a small army of TA people that he pays to tell him what calls to make. Okay, that's how it is. I mean, Eric is actually a little bit, he's a little bit better at the scalping than he is at the long-term calls. But you make more money on the big moves. The guy who goes out there and says trade for 1% a day needs to be telling you to go to Forex. Right? That's somebody that's just greedy for your money. He should be saying, dude, wow, man, we should go trade some Forex. They're making some damn money. Even I said it there. Look, I messaged our Forex guy. Listen, I'm going to show you my message to our Forex guy. This is how bad the market is. When I message our Forex guy, hey, do you have anything to shill? This is exactly what I said to him. This is what I said. This is because this is how shitty the market is right now. I'm like, hey, dude, do you have anything? Because it just sucks, right? It just sucks. And the Forex guys are killing it, right? These Forex guys are just printing money. And I'm like, you bastards, right? You freaking bastards. I mean, that used to be us, right? That used to be the crypto guys. Like, I remember, dude, it wasn't that long ago. I mean, You know, woohoo! I made $4,000 today. Woohoo! I made 6 grand today. I haven't done that in forever now. It's been so long. I don't even know what the hell's going on. Yeah, and that's honestly, there's a lot more people are making money in forex. All right, we got Chones. Chones, show us what you got going on. More tether burnings.
Yeah, and listen, just to add one more piece of the puzzle there, I think the month of October in U.S. equities, I mean, people lost a lot of money the past 4 weeks, even with the past couple days, oversold bounce. So that's more wealth effect lost, and I think that's more of a deterrent for people to spread out what they currently have into crypto. They will still see it as a much more riskier asset. Obviously, high risk, high reward, but if the have-haves can continue to see gains in their portfolios, then they'll be more willing. The big money, the money we want to see flow into crypto, will be more of a possibility for it to actually come in. With the current, instability right now in the overall larger cap equities and the U.S. market, the world market, really, the world stock markets, everything you've been saying about China. Um, this and of course the elections are causing a lot of turmoil right now. There could be some more clarity and everything come next week, hopefully. But yeah, getting back to Vam, what are these? The last two transactions, the last 2 days, 150 million in Tether. This is the same. Or I think the past one two. So we've had 250 million in Tether transferred since the 500 million burn of Tether. What does this mean to you, especially the 150 million in the past 2 days?
So two of the things when I see this, the first thing I say is, well, number one, people are. I feel that this isn't people moving their money over to TUSD or some of the other coins right now. What I think is this: a lot of people are continuing to move their money off of crypto to go trade other things. They're going to trade more volatile assets. I think a lot of people are going to trade Forex right now. So a lot of money is coming off of crypto, going over to Forex, right? So I see that as one thing. The other thing I see is I see the wallets. You can actually see the wallets that's going on with you can see the wallets that are being going smaller and smaller and smaller in USDT on not only Binance but Bitfinex. You see these that are coming off. You see a lot of Bitcoin that's being sold off, and I believe they're hedging their USDT to fiat, and I think that's a lot of what's going on. Is there's a lot of USDT. Now we just had two really big movements today in wallets. We had like a total of 11 million or something like that, 12 million that just got moved to some wallet
Bitcoin.
of Bitcoin. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure where it went, but remember, guys, when USDT moves. Right? When USDT moves, you're looking for the market to pump, right? When it's going into the market, you're looking for the market to pump. That's that's whether it's real or fake money going into the market, that's good for the market. When you see USDT coming out, that's very bad for the market. That's people pulling their money off the table. Now the other thing is that the wallets of all these exchanges keeps dropping, right? And with these wallets, where's that money going? And I think it's just going. They're just pulling their money out of the market, hedging it somewhere into fiat. Or who knows what bank accounts it's going into where? But that's another thing. And for me, seeing Tether go back to a 1-to-1 is just almost like a crime. It's almost like a crime, I mean, we're
Like it never
literally,
happened.
yeah, we're literally going back to 1-to-1. All right, here's my tether chart right there. Here's my tether chart. I mean, you're all the way back up here to 99 cents. Oh shoot, was I on mute that whole time? God damn it. So anyways, yeah. So looking at Tether.
Oh shit. Yeah.
Yeah. So looking at Tether, you guys are, Tether's just, the struggle is real with Tether for me. I mean, just come on, man. Just accept the audit, right? It just, even just have them do an audit from now going forward, right? Maybe you can balance the books out a little bit better. Okay. But other than that, yeah. All right, so I'm back over to you. Go for it, Chum.
Yeah, no, everything was good there. Um, yeah, Tether almost back to a dollar, and the arbitrage between, Bitfinex, where we used to chart, and now we're on what Stamp or Coinbase, because of that change. So, that chart differential is there, but we're off by only $63 now. That's big. That's definitely a change. Yeah, I want to just really quickly just piggyback on what you're talking about, the longs and the shorts there. It's quite notable watching these longs here continue to rise, and it's notable watching the shorts again sell off there. Your RSI chart was spot on because it's basically showing that we're getting closer to that area where the shorts find some um, support and rise, coinciding with some sort of a bearish move in the price of. So we're getting closer to that, closer to that. Longs have just been oversold though. Like this move is notable with longs, but it's just been so oversold that fine. I'm kind of bounced from very oversold conditions. Longs, RSI, found support at 30. That's as low as it's ever been, ever. So that's something. So, we bottomed at 31 and a half, 33 and a half, 31.2, and then, 30.4. So historically speaking, sure, I'll bounce there and I'll rise pretty high. I mean, we got back over 50, on those longs there. So that's quite a nice bounce from oversold conditions, but it's definitely not a trend changer yet. And those shorts, although have sold off, they were a little extended. They were extended in terms of the ratio spread between them and the longs, but that is closed. That is closed where more or less the price action of the Bitcoin has been stuck in a 3, 4, or 500 price range. So no one's really gotten annihilated long or short in the past couple weeks, and because of that, we just don't really see much of moves outside of the standard deviation here. I don't see longs overbought yet. I don't see shorts oversold yet, and but I think shorts still have a potential to retest those all-time high zones. They've been flirting with this rising ascending triangle, kind of breaking through it though right now. So I'll give it a day to see if it can get back above, and just yeah. Of which one? Bitcoin, sure. Yeah. So just to finish up, we're kind of at an area here where shorts should find support and start to rise again, and longs, although flagging, should find some resistance, maybe a little higher here, and basically start to consolidate again after a nice move off oversold conditions. So let's go back to Bitcoin, and you wanted just the weekly chart
Yeah,
there?
we want to pull up the weekly chart. So Expressive says the weekly chart is telling us the story. Give me all the way back to with let's see the weekly chart. Yeah, all the way back into deep. Let me see the volume there. Let's see what we got for volume. Ooh, lowest volume. Is that the lowest volume weekly candle we're going to print all year?
So not just that, I'm going back to right here till April 11th of 16, where we had gotten we've already surpassed that. But prior to that one, yeah, because we're higher than everything else. So this is, other than that one there, we are talking volume back to 2012 levels, and one time in 2016. And that one time in 2016, the week was pretty flat, which basically showed almost a bottoming moment. It's interesting. Kind of showed a bottoming moment there. April of 2016, Bitcoin was ranging between 370 and 430. So we had a $60 range. 427, yeah, I had about a $60 range the entire week of April 11th of 2016 on extremely low volume. And that was the last time we were we kind of in this area.
Can you pull it up on the monthly now?
So monthly, higher than where we had been again in October, September, and again April of there. I think what's notable is that we've basically staircased since February. Other than a June, July, August, relatively flat. We keep putting in lower lows. February, and going back in history, um, we tend to do this. But here's the thing: if we go back in history of 2014, our staircase increased bearishly with the price action. So we actually began to see when we bottomed volume wise a rising volume that was quite bearish for the market.
That we have never seen. We have not
We
seen
haven't
a
seen that part yet.
rising
We've come
bear.
down. We haven't gone up yet.
Exactly. So that's the thing I'm looking for. I'm looking for that one rising bearish volume candle, that capitulation candle, and then I'm going to literally long the bejesus out of it.
Mm.
I'm going to long the bejesus out of the bottom of that candle, right? And then Expressive
2015.
Expressive says, like, on the weekly shorts, he says he sees rising veggies. Are those are radishes or lettuce? But can you look for a rising veggie?
BTC weekly shorts.
We're looking for you, man. I'm sitting here eating pizza. I should be eating a veggie. And
Yeah, I mean, it's I still see it kind of as an ascending triangle. It's not a flag because it's too long now, I feel, and I don't like this pattern of this loop de loop. In
It's like
terms
a
of
flag.
rising wedge, I mean,
Looks like a channel. Can you make a channel with that? I see a channel going up. You see that upward channel from those two top? You see that top? Yep.
this
Mm-hmm.
like that.
Does it make a channel?
Uh,
Yeah. It looks like it fell out of the
yeah.
channel. Kind of looks
I
like
mean,
it
if I pull this,
fell out of the channel, maybe.
we're right there. Now we're
Yeah.
right there.
Kinda. Right?
Was short.
Mm-hmm.
Well, here's the deal. If this is it, then yeah,
Bill Gates
you
said he's
know.
bullish on shorts. He's bullish on shorts.
um, Listen, this is notable because this is a quad tap of our lower, potential channel here. But we still have running room for sure to reclaim and to retest our upper resistance line one more time, which would totally put us into new all-time high territory. Um, but again, that kind of falls into line where we're not kind of bought or oversold indicator. And listen, like I was watching the price action today. I mean, how many times have we seen this? Dump, whoa, reverse, and actually the volume wasn't that bad. It wasn't that bad. And the sell off wasn't that bad. We're just ranging. We're right at what, probably 23%. So right there, we're basically found support 38. We're at a bullish 38% retrace currently. Volume's holding, price is holding above here, but we're still, lower low. And honestly, I kind of feel now our equilibrium is even tighter. I think we're kind of only in this range now. Like a break above like 64.50 would be very notable. All this is just forgotten. We're above here now. That'd be notable. We get through all this, all the wicks here. We're starting to retest the tether. That's bullishly notable. But if we break this area, if we're putting a lower low, of course, if we break 6K, we're not that far off of it. And that's the other thing. And that still breaks our equilibrium. So we're still like 62 to 65. We're still in a $300 range, more or less. And either interaction, either price action between here and there is just kind of like, we got to break the tether FUD, wick at least. Are you muted?
Crap, I hate that. All right, everybody. So, listen, the moral of the story, and to follow up the moral of the story of this video today is, ain't shit changed, right? Nothing has happened. We're still trapped inside this apex of this wedge until we break north, or we break south, or we test north. Nothing has changed for me, right? We're just still trading inside of this range. Not a damn thing's changed. Listen, it was too easy to call a bounce yesterday. I mean, you just look at my video yesterday. It was like, wow, there's a lot of support here, right? I mean, it was just a ton of freaking support. It was super easy, and we knew we were going to get a bounce. We were oversold on a lot of indicators. We had the bleeding nine. We had this. Too much was going on to not get a bounce, right? The daily candle close, the blah blah blah, the blah 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 blah, right? So super easy. So now we're in a situation where all we're doing is so all we're doing is we're in a situation to where we're trapped in this trading range, right? And that's it. Listen. I saw that a total of 135,000 BTCs have been bought by 5 new addresses. So I don't know if, I don't want to say they've been bought. I think they've been loaded onto those addresses, right? I think that's more like what's happening. Okay. But listen, here's all I'm saying. Okay, this is all I'm saying. We need a breakout of here and or here, and backed is not going to do it for us. Okay, we need something a little more legitimate, right? Matthew, I did post the video in the members area. So, all right, so Chon's going to follow this up with a quick thing, and then we are out of here. Go ahead, Chon, what do you got? And I am done.
Yeah, not much. I always like to check out actual charts on exchange, X chart, watching the wicks, just kind of seeing where they're stop loss hunting, just kind of have a sense of kind of where, how far bearishly they're willing to kind of pull the price down.
1 minute.
To get you out of a trade if you went long or if you went short after various, candle wicks here, and just to see how they kind of double tapped here at this area, and where this wick here basically put in 6209 low, and then this wick here put in 6210 low. So a higher low on the wick holding above, and now we're still once again ranging. And I like to take a look at Bam's favorite here, Coinbase Pro. And again, they used EMA 12, EMA 26 indicators here. And when I really like the 6 hour a lot, and again, I watch how the EMAs dance with each other. I also watch the depth chart, and something interesting here. There's kind of a more of a staircase effect happening right now in terms of where money is currently positioned, in the market here. And what that kind of means to me is kind of where money is either expecting to be filled or to be basically, to be filled in either direction here, bought or sold, and seeing basically, there's about 4,000 Bitcoin between here and 5,000. And we're kind of seeing, I wouldn't really call this a wall, but I'm seeing a lot of, I don't know if it's real, but we're definitely seeing a lot of coin here sitting, waiting to be sold, really. Then kind of a bullish pump and not a lot on the bid still. and where we wicked out, getting above our EMA 26 on the 6 hour, but seeing that resistance hold. This is as close as I can get zoomed in here, but seeing how our EMA 12 on the daily closed right on it there. So it had been support. It had now it's acting as resistance once again. Volume is still pretty low here. So I was watching when we had this little intraday pump, and just kind of seeing if I felt the money flow was in any way organic. And it was pretty. It wasn't that bad. It was definitely notable. But it stopped. This was a nice move. It stopped, and the wick here, and then the pullback kind of took most of that second leg of that candle, that second 15-minute candle, out of the picture there. Watching this bottom hammer hold with increasing volume there was clearly notable. And this move here, basically putting in on Coinbase, actually put in a lower low, 201 to 211 here. So not all exchanges are created equal in terms of where their stop loss hunting happens. This would have in theory stopped you out if you basically had entered down here, if you had put a break even stop, and then it would have rocket shipped up and really pissed you off. But on Max, it actually held a higher low. So not all exchanges are shown to create equal. Once again, we're ranging here. Hourly chart. So it's flagging. It's definitely flagging. Maybe it's a pennant. Still a little early to tell. This can definitely go sideways for quite a bit longer here. And the whole thing, though, is still some sort of potentially some sort of a descending wedge here. We're going to have to see how this developed. You get above, you start battling your EMAs here. Resistance now turns support. MA 200 on the hourly at 63.40. And that move brought us a little bit of action. They were pretty tight on our hourly. Look how very tight they were here. Now they've opened up again. Opening them up, that gives us some time and some running room. Higher indicators suggest as well the 4 hour is pretty wide there still. And the daily, are close, very close. Closest all year still. Almost close all year. But still have room to get tighter, which means yes, we can definitely go a lot. Still stay in equilibrium and still go sideways heading into November. But all the bullish talk on Twitter, again, I love it. What I would like, I want to believe it, but it's like, where is this money coming from? Where is this phantom money?
I mean, swear to God,
it would take a lot to bring this up.
Yeah, dude, I swear to God, I want to have that conversation tomorrow at WCC. So I will be at World Crypto Conference tomorrow.
Yeah,
I'll be speaking on Friday for two things. Listen, everybody, we're gonna end the show right here. I gotta go do dad time. Okay, I gotta go do dad time right now. Trick or treating with my daughter. Thank you all so much for being here. I'm gonna let Chon keep going though. Okay, so he is on his own.
Good. I'm actually
he's good. Okay.
Trick-or-treating.
All right, perfect. Yeah, a little bit different trick-or-treating. He's going to a strip club. He's picking up 6 or 7 strippers, all coming back to his house. Going to see what he's got in his bag. All right, everybody. So I want to say thank you all so much, man. We really appreciate you all being here. And happy Halloween to everybody out there all over the world. Happy Halloween to you guys. Hope you guys get a lot of tricks and treats, both. All right, and I will be broadcasting live. I'll definitely have Chon on. I'm gonna do a live broadcast from Vegas. Okay, and
Sure.
Yeah, all right, guys, and for the Vamp and the Chon and all of us here at Until 1 Mil, I am out.
Peace.